Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. South Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, and where it's being caught. We're also going to cover your future marine forecast, moon phase, and tide charts. Everything you need to know to help get you in the bite. All right, so the thing that's going on right now is the weather. We've got, you notice that the Saharan dust has gone away, so clear skies and no wind is a thing of the past. Now, the funny thing is we have a ton of moisture in the sky, so you can expect, you can definitely expect rain pretty much every day. Okay, so don't be surprised when every afternoon you start seeing these thunderstorms pop up again. It's it is what it is. Okay, so let's talk fishing, shall we? Now that we've given our little blurb about the weather. All right, let's go on. We got Marlo Kennedy Leva to start off with. She's back on her paddleboard up in the shallows out there, ripping lips on the redfish again. Said it was a good weekend. Had several different pictures of different fish that look like tearing it up as usual, man. Showing the fellas how it gets done. Always good. Hey, what's up there, Scott? Good to see you. Thanks for showing up, boss. Here we are. Yeah, go catch some redfish, man. I don't think the boys can hang with her. She's always catch them. All right, so let's go. It looks like everybody's ripping up the pelagics. We'll start out here with Mike. Actually, he's got a great catch here. Doing the work, right? Putting them in. Every time he sees them, snagging the mylar balloons out there, and that's a whole bundle of them. So, man, there's got to be a way to shred these things and make friggin' trolling lures out of them. Lord. Thank you for cleaning up the sea. He got a few mahi, too, on top of the whole, but he says that was his real catch. All right, let's start looking. Doug, afternoon wahoo, said no weeds, no boats, no nothing, no fighting the morning fleet. So, hey, there you go, man. Yeah, I got a few folks heading out there in the afternoons and, able to manage to get some nice fish in the boat, right? Scott being one of them. All right, Andy lost some good ones, got a sail out in the 700. So we'll pay attention to depths and stuff. That way you guys can get dialed in on where you should be looking for them. 15 miles out on the American Shoal. Caught a couple of keepers. Yes. So, yep. Hey, you got to travel sometimes. You want to go get these fish, right? I definitely. I've had to make some trips to the sword grounds. We went out this past weekend. Didn't go all the way out there. Went out and did rosy fishing a little bit closer. Todd, doubleheader wahoos off Jupiter on Saturday. Man, this is awesome. You got to. Hey, listen. You can't complain about that, right? Getting some nice wahoo and a doubleheader too. That's the good stuff right there. Yandri found a couple of nice kings and some kudas this weekend. Good stuff. Hey, so you can see, right, the mackerels are biting. The dolphin are still biting. So, if you want to get out there and do some trolling, we got Jason from Guggen the Pro Offshore Angler getting out there and, he's getting out there. His son's picking him off. He's getting dialed in like his old man. Short troll Friday night after work. So another evening troll, right? Parker scored a few schoolies before the sun went down, caught with small lures with small hooks. So very interesting. And then of course we give him a little bit of, bother him about, wait a minute, why is Parker holding those dolphins so close? And, he says, of course, got to make it happen for you guys. Jason, all in good humor. Listen, folks, Jason Reese, Guggen the Pro Offshore Angler. Go check out his YouTube channel, folks. Over 100,000 subscribers, and for good reason. Great family man, knowledgeable angler, tried and true, trusted. Go check it out, man. Some good stuff. Good old-fashioned family fun. Man, he's got the new World Cap boat, man, making it happen. All righty. Dave with the Reef Donkey said he got this and a nice sailfish and he was worn out. And yes, I can vouch for you. That'll do it to you, man. I've had a one shark, one sail day, and that's okay. I'm good. Yes, that's a solid donkey right there. That's a 30 plus at least. Yeah. Whew. All right, Ray. Out, got 2 keepers out, 1,100 Biscayne out of Miami. Ray's always on the fish, man. He gets out there and, man, he knows where to find them. He puts in that work and always goes home with some tacos. Lovely tacos from the mahi. So as you can see, folks, the dolphin are still down here. Now, remember, if you've been fishing that mangrove snapper spawn, it's coming to an end. So get out there and get the mangroves if you're willing to do that. Al Green, check out this mangrove snapper. Man, that thing is, good Lord, that's a log right there. They don't come like that very often, but man, that's a big one right there. All right, Rob Elliott, he got his dolphin in the boat, definitely, and right after that, another one. I like bloody decks, so I'm showing everyone this picture. Very good. Got some tacos to go home with. We got Ed De Jesus, and they scored good here. Went on a charter. They got a nice bull, and you can see in the back they got some schoolies going on. Hey, perfect. So, folks, the dolphin are swimming around. You just got to find them. They're not thick like they were. You got to put in the work. Scott went out on a night trip. Said he was out until like 1 or 2 a.m. Got some kings. Got some dolphin. Man, hey, one thing about heading out into the night. Let's go. There he is. Listen, one thing about fishing at night is it's not 9,000 degrees out there, right? So it's just something to think about. Mike, look at this nice tarpon. Very good. So, yep, remember we got the mullet run going on, folks. Don't forget about that. So you get out there, mullet run, you want to concentrate on big jack crevalle, snook, tarpon. That's the sort of fishing's going on. Don't ever count out the mullet run. Here's Scott from that same night. He's fishing with some sardines, frozen sardines. He, flatlining out the sardines for the kings and stuff. Ended up with a nice couple of fish on there, man. Can't complain. Going home with, putting in that work and going home and getting that dinner is always great. All right, so that's what we got going on for our fishing this week, right, folks? The pelagics are swimming around. The dolphin, kingfish are starting to make a comeback. Remember, kingfish are quite a bit easier to pick off than wahoo. Wahoo can be a little, tricky to get dialed in on. And even if they are chewing, wahoo numbers versus angler numbers. And again, if it happens, it happens. If you never fish for them, though, it'll never happen. All right. So that's what we got going on. And remember, the dolphin are out there. They're just not in great numbers. They will, remember, come October, they're going to come on the inside of the stream, and that's when they'll be in shallow when you start picking them off in 200 to 300 feet, and they'll be good size too, remember. So they'll be heading south here, in a month or so. It's a lot cooler at night. Good Lord, definitely. All right, so let's start talking weather. We got some, like I said, the Saharan dust is gone. So the moisture, the tropical moisture has moved back in. If you look, you might look up and say, hey, it's clear skies. What the hell is he talking about? Now you got to look at, there's a thermal cam they got. NOAA has it. And you can look and see it's lit up all yellow and orange. And that yellow and orange is not heat. It's not nothing. It's moisture in the sky. You just got to know how to read a couple of different charts when it comes to it. Maybe Windy has one of those. I don't know. Let's see. Rain, temperature, hurricane tracker. I don't know about that. Did it got it? Let's see. Rain accumulation. Nah, they don't. Otherwise, I'd show you. All right, let's talk weather, right? We're going to go on ahead and start doing this. These next 4 websites, if you're new to the show, folks, this is your first time checking out, we're going to go over these next 4 websites. The links to them are in the description of the stream. Go ahead and click on them, use them. And remember, these are just forecasting models. This is not set in stone, but they do really help if you're looking for, a little assistance in planning your trips. This is windy. You can click and point. It'll tell you wind direction, wind speed, wave accumulation, wave heights, rain accumulation, all that good stuff. So this is where we're at right now. Let's see what with this weather now. Nope, that's just rain. That's current right now. All right, we'll go back to our wind. All right, so let's talk wind, right? And then we are going to move forward. So this is tomorrow morning. We got 5 knots, right? So we're pretty good. I'm going out this weekend. Hope to see some numbers. Hey, we'll let you know. It's going to be about this. It's going to pick up a tad bit, but it's not going to be unbearable. 5 knots from the south tomorrow morning, heading up, and then we'll look at it increasing in the afternoon. Now, remember, we're in that summertime, deep summertime, deep South Florida summertime, right? So every afternoon you get that onshore breeze. So just because it ramps up from, let's say, 5 miles an hour to 10, 12 miles an hour in the afternoon, that's an all day, every day thing. That's surface wind. That does not mean it's going to have a huge push of water behind it. It's just our onshore breeze. All right. Friday morning, again, like you see, as night falls, the wind coils down and you end up with 5 knots in the morning again, right? Down in the Keys, we're looking at a little bit more windy, and that's the Straits. We've got some tropical stuff happening, but there's a bunch of wind shear that's going to kind of keep it away. As a matter of fact, I did see there's Invest 96, I think that was what they were calling it, but what they're not talking about is the amount of wind shear that's out beyond the Bahamas that's going to keep all that pushed out into the Atlantic. And then in the afternoon, tomorrow, 5 knots from the east, not much of a change, right? If you go up more north, it's a little bit higher, but down in the Tri-County area, 5 knots. So, tomorrow and Friday are looking fairly good wind-wise, and Saturday too. It's not much. So according to this, with the wind, we're going to be all right. Won't be too bad. But like I said, the rain chances in the afternoon are going to definitely kick up every day. It is going to keep us a little cooler. All this rain will be in. I know it's going to sound funny. We're going to be near 90. At least we won't be near the mid-90s. Okay, so let's head on to Saturday, Sunday. 2 knots. Well, we can't go there. Sunday, it looks like it wants to kick up in the morning. So overnight, your wind speed might keep up through Sunday, and then it looks like it does the reverse Sunday afternoon. Like it wants to slow down a little bit in the afternoon. All right, let's head into Monday and see what we got going on. So it's about the same. So our wind is looking like it's staying, between 5 and 10 to, maybe 15 knots. Not very much of nothing anyway. All right. Monday afternoon, 8 knots. So it's seeming to stay the same, right, folks? We got low level winds in the morning and they pick up in the afternoon. So not much to say about that. Other than, let's see what it's going to do for their forecast of the seas. I think they'll probably embellish it a little bit. We'll see. Okay, let's go on ahead, and now we'll look at waves, right? So right now, that's Thursday, 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, nothing, 2 foot. That's tomorrow, right? Nice and calm. All right, but we're going to have some storms and stuff to deal with. Thursday afternoon, still 1 foot all around, skis everywhere. Everglades National Park, that's a lake all the time anyway. Friday, more 1 foot stuff. So it stays nice over the next couple of days, definitely throughout the day. Heading into Saturday, looking at, so again, Saturday, like I said, there was something that I saw, something weird. We're just saying it's going to be more, the seas look like they want to come up a little bit over the weekend. But, so you're looking at like 1 to 2, which is, it's not bad. Remember, a little bit of churning in the ocean makes the fish better. So, yeah, right. And then it looks like, 1 to 2, holds off a little bit, goes up and down. So for your question, if you're going out this weekend, right, you're looking like you'll be all right. Saturday, let's head into Sunday and see it. But remember, this is the first one. So you see here how it darkened up, right? So let me talk a little bit about windy real quick before we go further. Down here on the bottom, you got this color-coded chart. So you saw how, let's see, we got it light. Now we'll hit, this is Saturday afternoon. Then we head into Sunday morning and it darkens up a little bit. That's just down here, that little color-coded chart where you can kind of tell the darker it gets, the more meatier your waves might be, right? Now, you also got to pay attention to your period between your waves, which is 4 seconds, right? Which is standard Tri-County area for our reef shelf wave period. That's not very choppy, and that's not a swell. 4 to 5 seconds is what we normally get. All right, so that's what we're looking at, right, folks? 2 feet Sunday afternoon and heading into Monday. So again, it looks like it wants to pick up just a hair going Saturday into Sunday, but it looks like throughout the rest of the week, right? Throughout Wednesday, so Thursday and Friday looking pretty. Come Saturday, it looks like it's going to go a little bit up, but it's not going to become unbearable to where everybody can't get out and do anything. We're not heading down that road again yet. All right, so let's go on ahead. Now we'll head to our next forecast model, which is WINDFINDER. And WINDFINDER is basically the same thing. It's just not a pretty graphic. It's all numbers and pointers and arrows and stuff for us right brain folks that like, a little bit of logic. Now, again, like I said, folks, if you look here, not so much Friday, but you see the moisture in the sky, right? That's what, you know what? Before we go to here, I messed up. I'm going to go back to windy, and we're going to look at the rain. How about if we look at the rain from windy? There we go. That'll be fair. We don't want to leave everybody out because we're talking about rain, right? Rain is the key ingredient for what you're going to be seeing over the next several days, simply because there is a large amount of moisture in the sky. So here we go, right? So this is right now. You can't do that. Tomorrow morning, right? So you see all the moisture. And remember, blue, not all this yellow and lightning strike looking stuff, but the blue stuff is moisture in the sky, right? So come after, we know our afternoon storms are going to fire up. That's just the way it is. That's Thursday, Friday morning. You can see there's still storms around the coast, surrounding the coast. Come the afternoon, we know we get that, right? Now, let's look at our weekend, right? So the weekend, you'll be definitely seeing some offshore storms in the morning. That more than likely hang out offshore and not really do much. And then in the afternoon, we get the onslaught, of course. Nothing changes there. Come Sunday morning, the same thing. So Sunday morning looks like the further down south. Actually, there'll be cloud covering everywhere, a little bit going on Sunday. I did see that, Sunday they're looking at rain like all day, right? And there in the afternoon and the nighttime. So that's Sunday looking for you. And then Monday starts the more of the same. So like I said, for several days coming forward, there is moisture in the sky. So let's go back to WINDFINDER and we'll see what they're saying about it, right? So as you can see right here, tomorrow they got rain going on, and they're saying the winds are a little bit elevated from what Windy had showed. Windy showed 5 miles an hour. They're here. They're just below 10, low double digits, which is fine. Hey, there's Captain Jim, the best of Boynton. How we doing, boss? Listen, folks, I'm gonna harass Captain Jim right now. If you're looking for a charter captain out of Boynton Beach, runs out of Boynton Inlet, okay? Hit up Captain Jim. Check out his website, guys. It's great. It's full of his catches, and he keeps it current too. So you're not going to go on his website, his social media too. You're not going to go on there and check out. You're not going to be checking out repeat pictures of stuff he caught 6 years ago, being like, look at what I caught now. It's all, current good pictures. And Jim is a truly honest guy, sometimes too honest. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. He reports on his catches. And, that's the type of captain that you want to be working with. Captain Jim, 4J's Charters, folks, out of Boynton Beach. All right, back to our weather. Yes, so that's Thursday, Friday. Like I said, you see easterly winds, steady. Yes. Now, hey, can't you got to sell it a little bit. Friday, always and forever, Easterly winds, southeasterly winds, again, low double digits. So they're jiving with the other ones. And again, like we said, here's the difference, right? Is when you was saying 1 foot, here they're saying 2 foot. So 1 to 2, get out there and do it. 2 foot seas is not bad. You can do it. You know, you just got to prepare for the weather. Now here, right? So they're showing, you know, the rain and stuff. Here it's looking a little bit different. They're calling for rain in the afternoon on Saturday. Sunday, it's looking like a little bit more clear. So, you know, you have to watch the skies. I'm thinking it's more than likely going to have, you know, if not be cloudy or stuff, with all the moisture in the sky, you're going to see more than clear skies like they're saying on Sunday. So, all right, let's move on and take a look at our moon phase. For those of us that like to fish by the moon, right? It's always you know, depends. You know, we had the mangrove spawn going on, which worked that moon phase. Also, it helps with your mackerel fishing, the wahoo fishing. Light them puppies up. Right now we're at 98%. Tomorrow we will be at the full moon, right? So if you wanted to go out and hit those wahoo and fish that you know, mythical moon phase a couple of days before, a couple of days after. So right now we're in the phase, right? So if you're heading towards this weekend and you're feeling like doing a wahoo troll, you know, pressing your luck, hoping to, you know, get fired up on that their August moon run, you know, hey, we can do it. You know, you might want to look up Philip Keller from Not For Nothing Fishing and study what he does, because he is literally got them dialed in. It's on almost every trip thing. You know, check it out. Definitely lighten them up. All right, so today, right, 98%. Tomorrow, come on, thing, move. Internet glitch for 2 seconds. Sorry. Tomorrow, full moon. Friday, still the full moon. Into Saturday, we start waning, right? So remember, moon phase has two things. It is waning is moving away from the full moon, heading towards the dark side of the moon. Waxing is heading towards the full moon. So right now we're ending our waxing phase, and we're going to start waning on Monday. And then you'll be at 93%. So like I said, heading into that weekend and early next week, if you get out and wahoo trolling is something you're considering, the moon phase is definitely in your favor. So go on ahead and hit that up. All right, let's come on and check out our tides. And then we go on ahead and see what we can do to let everybody get on out of here real quick. We're going to, before we get out of here, we're going to share a couple bits of information that everyone needs to know. Let's see here real quick. All right, so tide phase, right? Why do we fish these tides? You fish in the tidal flow out of an inlet. The tide's got to be going out, folks. If it's coming in, it doesn't work. Outgoing tide pushes out all your microorganisms, phytoplanktons, everything. Little fish come in and eat that. Big fish come in and eat little fish. Natural life cycle of the ocean. So if you're fishing an inlet and the tide's coming in, it's not going to work. It just hands down doesn't work. Especially the guys who are on the jetties fishing. Now, if you're out on a boat, you can always go do something else. But if you're out on a boat and you're trying to fish tidal flow and it's still coming in instead of going out, it's ineffective. You know, jigging, chumming, trolling, whatever it might be out front. If you're fishing that water flow, it's got to be going out. And again, it's also got to be at a topical time of day. So as we can see right here tomorrow, we've got our outgoing tide kind of in the middle of the day. Not really very good. It starts at about 8 a.m. So come, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., you're a good flow, right? Not too bad. You just want to watch it the more in the middle of the day it gets, right? When it's the middle of the day and there's no shadows, fish go and disperse over the reef and go and hide from the sharks. So what we've got going on, this whole thing is we're out of phase. You've got the incoming tide. So, the folks who, go fish the piers if you're land-based fishermen, stay away from the inlets. It won't work for you in the morning and in the evening. That's all we got to say about that. Remember, that tidal flow works in mysterious ways, folks. So, it's just a thing that is in your favor. All right, so let's see. Before we get out of here, I want to talk about a few things for all of us folks here that we need some information on what's going on with bear with me. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, right? I want to tell everybody about, we've been working with a couple different companies, right? These baits, we've been working with Not For Nothing fishing lures for planer trolling and evolution lures. So I want to show you guys these websites real quick, and we'll let everyone get on with life. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Beast Baits, right? Paul Patterson, and I'm going to post some links here. Check out the website. Okay. Now, if you go to Beast Baits, Paul actually gave me a discount code. It's I'll type it in right here if you use it. It's SALT15. This discount code, if you go right here on this website, okay, if you go right here, here's Paul's website for Beast Baits. If you go on there and you place an order, he's got all sorts of stuff. Bonita strips. He's got some lures. He's got pre-rigs. He's got hog strips, 9-inch, all sorts of stuff. Go there, shop around, right? And when you go to the cart, if you buy stuff, right, use this code on checkout. It'll get you 15% off the entire order, not just off one item, right? All right, now that's Paul Patterson and Beast Baits, right? We've done the studies. The longevity of his baits is tried and true, man. We pulled bonita strips for well over an hour, and they not washed out, not elongated, nothing. Good to go. Solid baits, and you know, man, the fish seem to really like them. All right, let's talk about the next group of fellers that we are dealing with. Like you said, we've changed our lures up quite a bit this fishing season, so we're gonna, you know, get everyone on board and talk about them when they're good. And you've got good stuff. Let's do this, folks. We're going to talk about Not For Nothing fishing. This is Philip Keller, right? Like I said, the Wahoo master fisherman, right? All right, so here we go, folks. Check out his website if you get a chance. Go on ahead. These are these lures right here are the Candy Crusher series. He's got here, you know, the Candy Witch. The famous one is the Palm Beach Special. You know, not even he might be out of them right now, but I mean, these are all his Candy Witch ones. The ones that got the eyeballs are Candy Crushers. Great lures, you know. Right now, like I said, this is a cotton candy. We went out and we trolled that one this past weekend, and it got demolished. So yeah, check it out, folks. Not For Nothing fishing. Philip Keller. All right, and the last group of lures we're going to talk about tonight before we get off here, right, is we're going to go with Jess Williams and Evolution Lures, right? So these guys, these are the little Evolution flyboy lures that we've been trolling around when we've gone for mahi, right? These are the ones that look like the little flying fish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and paste his link here real quick. So if you want to check it out, go on ahead. Check out the website, guys. It's good stuff. These are the, you've seen me troll the mahi magnets, and they get tore up by mahi. Really good. And also we've got the Ruckus. This is the one that I use on my daisy chain. This creates a ton of smoke right at the back of that. Yes, yes. All of these brands, these baits are going through. And trust me, folks, I am not sponsored by these guys. I've just went and done my research and said, hey, these folks look legit, so we're going to go on ahead and go with this and promote it. And trust me, if it did not work and it was bad stuff, I wouldn't be here saying it. I'm not a badmouth guy. I'm a promotion guy, solutions man. And this is the solution to your fishing problem. These last 3 websites that I've gone over and these products. You go on ahead, and I posted their links right here in the comments. Go on ahead and click on them and check it out. You know, if you're in the market for some new lures, it never hurts. Okay. All right. Before we get on out of here, folks, if you are on Facebook, I want to ask you, go on ahead and seek out the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. This, oh yes, Captain Rick Stanzik. Folks, yes, Slayer approved. Thank you very much. Captain Rick Stanzik, praying for a recovery. They said, you know, he's up, he's eating and stuff, short-term memory loss. It's scary stuff. Lightning is real, you know. Sometimes you just get caught and you can't even, you know, can't avoid it. It's an unfortunate incident, and praying for his recovery, the whole family. And yes, those lures are definitely Slayer approved. He's torn them up. Okay, again, folks, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. Here's the magic about this group on Facebook. It's a private group, right? We've grown to about 3,000 members. You have to answer a couple questions to join. What's your favorite fish, and are you going to play by the rules? The rules are simple, no screwing around. And, you know, we're fairly easygoing, laid back guy. I don't need a reason to get, you know, angry at crap. Anyway, if you get where I'm coming from. Yes, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. So every Monday, we put out the brag board post, right? Like we did here. Okay. If you, there we go. Have you hit the like? I always hit the like button. If you post your catch on here, you don't even have to wait for the Monday brag board. You can post it anytime you want to. I can't dig back through, but you don't have to wait for that. Make a post on the feed and it'll come through. If you make a post, you're guaranteed to be showcased on the live stream that we have every Wednesday. Definitely. Hey, yeah, there we go. You know, go on ahead and I love this, the red short bugs. I just see some usernames sometimes they catch and throw me for a loop. All right. And yeah, go ahead, do it. And the one of the perks also is if you post something and then grab onto it, you always have the opportunity to be the poster child and be the thumbnail for the live stream that we have on YouTube, right? So this Facebook group directly runs what you're seeing here. The legitimacy of the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report is real, folks. These are real photos from real people that live right up the street from me and you. All right, folks, we're going to get on out of here. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of the week, and we got something to show for it next Wednesday, right? Until then, South Florida Saltwater Fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.